Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I suppose this is more of a sort of Christmas special, sort of 200 subscriber special, whatever you want to call it. However, a couple of users actually have suggested doing sort of like a Meet the Fleet update since it's been a while since I've properly been through my actual fleet. I've shown you some of it in the latest running videos and things like that. So I'm thinking maybe starting the series, just seeing how it goes. So today's episode will be on all the EWS stock that is on Avon Junction and Avon TMD, as you can see in the background. So let's get to it. So just before I do start, I just want to apologise for my voice. I've got the mother of all colds at the moment. It's nothing dangerous. Like I know what the world's like at the moment. But the video today, it'll be in no particular order. I'll be switching between this the TMD and the sort of little test loop at the moment, because the test loop is set up for DC. This is set up for DCC, so it just makes it a little bit easier because obviously not everything has a DCC chip or a sound chip in it yet. So again, all that being said, let's get to the first one. So, our first on the list is Bachmann Class 66, Class 66 200 Railway Heritage Committee in EWS livery, as the name of the video implies. Now, I've had this one for a couple of years. She's always been a really good performer, to be fair. Haven't really had much trouble with her other than just cleaning the contacts on her, because when I did get her, the previous owner looked like she was neglected. It was a Christmas present from a good friend of mine. Obviously, that's not anything to say against it. Obviously, he didn't know anything about the wheels, but since then, the loco's been absolutely spot on. It has been weathered by Roads and Rails, as you can see, like nice little light weathering, and it's also had the a Legoman Biffo sound chip with an iPhone speaker popped in, and as you can hear, it sounds fantastic. And it always does look great hauling a rake of HAA coal wagons or my BYA steel carriers. It just looks good on anything you pop it on. Okay, next up we've got a Helgen Class 47-744, the Cornish Experience, again finished in lovely EWS livery. This is one of my personal favourites, really. Like it's always out on the layout. It's got a hose sound chip in it, and it really does sound incredible. It's got two bass reflex speakers, one just behind each cab. Again, weathered by Roads and Rails, and it's had all the extra detail fitted, and it's been renamed, and really is a fantastic addition to this layout. It's always found on the mail trains, along with my other 47, which you'll see later. And as you can see, the lights have been upgraded in it. They're still the halogen type with Helgen, however, they are a lot brighter. And my unpopular opinion with the Helgen locos is they are actually the best 47s on the market. Yes, they're a little bit wide, and yes, there was some quality control issues with them, but for running, they are peerless, and the detail on them is fantastic, and you can get them for up to up to £50 really. As little as £50 I should say. They really are a good deal if you are looking into them. Okay, and our next one is this lovely Hornby Class 60, finished in BR Triple Grey with the EWS 3 Beasties logo on it. Now I know Hornby did release a model like this, 014 Alexander Fleming. However, this was actually bought from a good friend of mine, Trev Hurley, who runs Weathering Services and Detailing. Really nice guy. If you need any weathering doing, always give him a shout. But I actually bought this off him. It was originally Samuel Johnston. However, I asked him if he could weather it and rebrand it like this while he was at it, and he did. And he's done an absolutely fantastic job. I'm sure you'll agree. It really does look true to the prototype. So this one, again, as you can see, it's been lovely weathered to a very, very high standard. It also does have just a standard Hornby 8-pin decoder in it at the moment. However, this is earmarked for sound in the future. So once again, keep your eyes on this one. Big things are coming for 076. So our next one is a Hornby Class 37, 37040, which I actually purchased from a fellow YouTuber, Lakeside Parkway, also known as Neil. I purchased this off him as a non-runner. So it's a bit of an ongoing project at the moment. It does sort of intermittently run now. I've got a new motor in it. I need to sort out a few of the kinks. It's part way through weathering at the moment, as you can see. So I'll be really excited to show you guys once this is done, how it all looks. However, at the moment, it is just DC. However, again, plans for this in the future. There are a lot of plans coming for this, because I want to do a project where I could turn a Hornby 37 and prove you can make it incredibly detailed for half the money of an Acura scale or a Bachmann one. So stay tuned for that in the future. So next on our list is this lovely Hornby Class 56. It's numbered 56059, and the weathering on it was actually done by myself. It was the first weathering project I've done. I did it over lockdown, and I admit it isn't the best weathering project. It's very patchy and it can be a bit too heavy in places, but I had to start somewhere. This is currently a bit of a project for me, this loco. It arrived with a lot of defects, like the lights didn't work and things like that. The lights still don't work, I'm working on that, but there was various motor problems, things like that, whereas it runs perfectly fine now. I popped the Lego Man Biffo chip in it with a bass reflex speaker bought from Roads and Rails once again, and as you can see, it really does sound fantastic. Like, it's got the real nice sound to it. But it's worth keeping an eye on this one, because a lot's going to change with this one very soon. And so our next edition is Helgen Class 47792 Robin Hood. Now this one has been a little bit on the unreliable side. At the moment, I'm waiting on parts to arrive for it, because essentially I went to go DCC sound fit it, and by the time the sound chip was in, the bogey tower, the gearing decided to go in that. So I checked all inside there. You can see there was teeth missing. So unfortunately, I think it's just one of those age things. No one's at fault really. It's just one of them. However, this will be back in action very, very soon, and it'll get a nice coat of weathering to match the Cornish experience. Because what's better than one dirty EWS 47? That's two, and both of them with some incredible sound chips in them. So we'll be able to see her back in action, hopefully sooner rather than later. And so this is the Helgen Class 33, 33030. Now this is the older Helgen Class 33. I know they started remaking them and slightly revamping them in the past couple of years. This is one of the older ones. This one actually was a bit of a funny story behind buying it, because I saw it come up on Facebook Marketplace about a year ago, and I just couldn't help myself. I just bought it straight on the spot. And the guy messaged me saying, "Good job I bought it, because it would have been sprayed into a different colour if it didn't sell." So this one, it doesn't have a sound chip on it just yet. If I'm honest with you, I feel kind of bad, because it's been kind of just sat there neglected. But I've applied some of the detail to the fronts, and I've touched up some of the weathering on the side. It was a little bit chipped. However, that's been sorted, and I've tested it on DC, and it is a fantastic runner. And it's just a shame I don't get out as much as I should do. So the next one to the list is actually the newest addition to this layout, when it comes to EWS, that is 67003, which came as part of the limited edition Freight Train pack set. Now I actually got this one for my birthday, for my 21st, from my dad actually, my stepmom, and it really is a nice model. Hornby 67s, I really do covet. I know some people have some issues with them. However, I've never encountered any problems with running, doing anything to them. They're really nice models. This hasn't had anything done to it yet, so it's still running on DC, hence why I haven't plugged it in or anything. However, again, this is another one to keep an eye on, because things will be happening with this one soon. And in fact, you might get a taster to what's coming and what's going to happen to 6700. So, next on our list again is the, if I'm honest with you, much maligned Hatton's Class 66, 66005. Now, this one is a bit of a weird one, because like a lot of people, I have had a lot of the quality control issues with this model, like the famous axle boxes coming off, The grill fell out on me once, and fitting sound to it, don't even get me started. However, once all those things have been sorted, and the dab of glue and everything's been sorted, it's been a fantastic performer on the layout, and the level of detail is one of the highest I've ever seen on a diesel locomotive. So, credit where credit's due, I have to say. It's fitted again with Lego Man Biffo sound, which I believe was a specially adapted sound file for this model, teamed with an EM2 Earth Mover speaker, which, as you can hear, really you can hear the bass on it. It's one of the best model railway speakers you can buy, if not the best. And if you can get this into any model that you're looking at getting it into, I would say do it. Honestly, do it. And our next entry is honestly my favourite of the EWS fleet, except bar one, which reason will become clear for that later, is 60065 Spirit of Jaguar, finished in this lovely EWS livery. So again, this is another commission that I gave my good friend Trev. So initially it was 60026, and it's been renumbered, and it's been shown from EWS to EWS with the EWS beasties applied on each cab end, and he's done certain things to it to really mimic the prototype with the weathering, and he's painted various bits like the wipeout headlights, for example. I personally fitted it with Hornby TTS sound with a mega bass speaker purchased from Roads and Rails, and as well as the cab lights from Roads and Rails. I have got a Model U, it was from West Hill Wagon Works, I do apologise, driver in there, and I've also added some scale model scenery litter to the cab. This is by far and away one of my favourites of the fleet, due to the fact it's detailing and the fact that this never misses a beat when it was running. However, there are a couple more things that still need to be done to it, and you'll be able to see them, because my challenge to myself is to try and make one of the most detailed Class 60s on YouTube. So really keep an eye out for this one. Big things are coming for this. I know there's a bit of a theme with today's video, big things, but honestly, you'll see. And here's our next one. So it's 92001 Victor Hugo, and this livery, in my opinion, is by far and away the best livery the 92s have ever had. I know a lot of you might disagree with that, however, I genuinely believe that. Now this one is a bit of a weird one, because when I was a kid, a Class 92 model, I wanted one for years and years and years. By the time I managed to get one, maybe it's just because it was sort of a never meet your heroes thing, but I was quite disappointed with the Hornby one. However, you do have to cut it some slack, because it was developed in the mid-90s, not far off when the actual Class 92s came in. And if you compare it to anything at the time, it's not bad at all. It does have working lights, it's quite good pulling capacity, and the detail on the body is relatively good. However, a pre-order is in for the new Acura scale one, so I'll be very, very excited to see what they look like. So, next on our list are Hornby 58024 and Hornby 58037. Now, the reason I'm doing these two together is because it's from the early 2000s. These came as a twin pack, so one of them was a dummy, one of them was a motor, and I know what I said about my Class 60. I said the 60 was one of my favourites. These are my favourites, not just in the EWS fleet, but my entire fleet, because these two are my first ever locos, and for that reason, these are the only two that I've said, even if I get out of the hobby, these will never ever go. 024 is the motorised one that has had a DCC chip fitted to it. I'm unsure if to do lights to it yet because of the sentimental value, but I want to put a DCC chip in so it can run with the main layout when that does come. And so we're on to our next loco, which is 56103 Storer. Now, this one is actually my first proper highly detailed Hornby 56, and it really didn't disappoint. The 56s are one of my favourite locos. This one, again, was weathered by Trev over at Weathering Services and Detailing. As you can see, once again, he's done a very good job. I asked for just sort of like, general sort of work dust, that thing, nothing too heavy. I fitted etch Storer plates to her, and she's also got a nice Lego Man Biffo sound chip in her with the long bass speaker. And this really is something else on this. Like, it really is lovely and loud. So if I put the drive lock on, you can hear how well it's got the 56's characteristic scream. I think you'll agree with me, it sounds fantastic. So, that concludes today's Meet the Fleet. This is only episode 1. I do have some more EWS locos, which I shall be showcasing in the next episode. And be sure to stay tuned to that if you do like this. If you did like this video, you obviously leave a like, leave a comment. Maybe consider subscribing if you want to see any more content like this. So, until then, bye for now.